Hello, hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning. First of all, I would like to apologize um, on my absence for the past 1 month due to my condition, due to the inability of um, having a proper class with you guys. I'm so sorry about that. Whatever it is my responsibility to finish chapter 8 as well as chapter 10. At moment, for the first 1 hour, please give full attention with regards to these topics under General Takaful family. Previously, we have learned on the family Takaful, which is a policy that provides protections towards the life, disabilities, personal accidents, medical, and so on. And now we move to another topic, which is the General Takaful policy. Under General Takaful program or General Takaful products, there are two main products, which have been divided into motor and non-motor Takaful. So under the first topic that I want to share with you guys today is the motor Takaful. Okay, you may have a look on our what we call it manual, page 90. Okay, chapter 8. A general Takaful essentially involves the relationship of two parties. Same goes with the family Takaful. But under this concept, it is based on the ta'awun, which is mutual cooperation, tabaruk agreement, whereby there is a donation being made into the tabaruk fund. And there is concept of mudarabah, wakala, hybrid, wakaf, and so on. This has been discussed in chapter 5, under which is our Takaful model. Okay, 8.1, page 91. The main characteristic of General Takaful. Number 1, the contracts are renewable by mutual consent. Meaning that under General Takaful, the periods of Takaful normally could be within 1 year, okay, within 1 year or less than that. It is not the same like what we have under family Takaful. We know that family Takaful is something that could have short term or might be a long term contract, which is the contract boleh jadi contract yang seumur hidup. But for general Takaful, especially for motor, it will be renewable, which is boleh diperbaharui setiap tahun. Each and every year you need to renew, perlu perbaharukan insurance ataupun Takaful. Number two, the contribution charge may be vary. May be vary maksudnya contribution of the premium being charged by the Takaful operators will not be the same. Why? Because the Takaful operators need to see, they need to look on the degree of risk. Different risks may charge a different premium. Okay, change in the nature of risk, like I mentioned earlier. Number 2, overall change in the certificates or contribution rates. This is something which is not very significant to the premium rates. Number 3, most general Takaful contract are contract of indemnity. What is indemnity? It is an exact financial compensation. So under general Takaful, it is possible for the Takaful operators to indemnify you in terms of cash, in terms of repair, in terms of replacement, or even in terms of reinstatements towards your subject matter. So under general Takaful for motor, of course, your subject matter now is your motor vehicles. I mean, it can be any vehicles, your motorcycles, lorry, bus, or even your private car. So the subject matter can be replaced, or I should say it can be indemnified in the 4 methods that we have discussed earlier. Number 4, payment of claim does not terminate a general Takaful contract. More than one claim can be made in each year of Takaful. How can this happen? Because general Takaful are based on the sum insured. Sum insured is the value being insured for that particular subject matter. For example, we have one car which is the subject matter, and the sum insured of car, harga kereta tu 50,000, 50,000 price. Okay, and from January to December, you buy a Takaful policy, and you make a claim on June due to accident happens, but the repair cost is only involved 20,000, meaning that you have remaining 30,000, which is unused balance of claim, which is not being used yet. So the balance still can be claimed up to the completions or the periods of Takaful. That's why the payment of claim does not terminate general Takaful contract, even though the contract has been made, as long as the claim are not beyond the sum insured, meaning that, okay, alright, right now we're going to continue with the next subtopic under page 92. Yes, page 92. So under this page, it comprises all the Takaful products available under General Takaful, Motor Takaful, Fire Takaful, Marine Takaful, and etc. But for the first video, I would like to discuss on the 8.2 Motor Takaful. Motor Takaful in Malaysia is regulated by Road Transport Act 1997 as amended from time to time. Takaful plan cover participant against loss or damage to his own vehicles due to accidental fire, theft, accident, or any third-party bodily injuries, or death, third-party property loss, damage. The first things that we want to discuss under the Motor Takaful is the types of Motor Takaful certificates. The most common used certificates in Malaysia Motor Takaful is private car, commercial vehicles, and motorcycles. Private car is adalah kenderaan sendirian lah. Boleh jadi apa-apa kereta yang you pakai sendiri, kereta yang digunakan untuk pergi kerja, kereta yang digunakan untuk pergi daripada point A ke point B. That is private car. Number 2 is commercial vehicles, kenderaan perdagangan. Contohnya bas, lori dan sebagainya. Kenderaan yang digunakan untuk commercial, kenderaan digunakan untuk perniagaan. That is commercial vehicles. Number 3 is motorcycles. Whether you ride motorcycles, whatever the CC is, as long as it's covered under motorcycles. 8.2.2 types of motor cover. Okay, now under 8.2, the types of motor cover, please do not confuse with the standard scope of cover. Okay, types of cover, we have third party cover, we have third party fire and theft cover, as well as the comprehensive coverage. Types of cover, it comprises the types of coverage available, the types of coverage given by the Takaful operators or available by the Takaful operators in Asia. The first one, third party cover. When I said third party cover, the coverage is solely depends for the third party. Third party adalah orang ketiga, meaning that it does not cover your own damage. Damage to your own vehicle will not be covered under third party as well as third party fire and theft. So if you want to get coverage towards your own vehicles, towards your own bodily injuries, but I should say on vehicles first, okay, you should buy a comprehensive cover. Okay, so third party is only cover legal liability, third party property damage, and legal liability bodily injury to the third party only. Number 1, third party and third party, the difference, beza antara fire and theft. Third party fire and theft ni ada lebih dia cover pada kebakaran lah, dan juga kecurian. Okay, and comprehensive protects against third party deaths, bodily injury and property damage, as well as loss and damage to your vehicles due to accidental theft and accidental damage. That's why they call it as comprehensive coverage. It covers all. It covers the third party coverage on bodily injuries. It covers the third party property damage. It covers on your own vehicles damage, as well as additional coverage only if you buy the additional cover with extra premium on your personal bodily injury. Okay, now we move to 8.2.3, page 94. The standard of cover under comprehensive private car motor takaful. There are 3 sections. Section 1, own damage. Section 2, liability to third party, legal liability to third parties. And Section 3 is the accident to participant. Now we go to the first section, own damage. Under this section, it tells all about your damage, the damage towards your own vehicles. Maknanya kepada kenderaan you sendirilah. Apa coverage yang ada, what types of coverage available under this section. Number 1, accidental collision or overturning, or collision or overturning consequent upon mechanical breakdown or consequent upon wear and tear. Any accident collision when your car collides, Pak Mat tempe berlanggar dengan motorcar, kereta you berlanggar dengan kereta orang lain, and it cause overturning. Overturning ni berpusing, terbalik dan sebagainya dan seumpamanya. It will be covered under section 1. Number 2, by fire external explosion, kenderaan you terbakar dan meletup. Self-ignition or lightning. Lightning ni disambar oleh petir dan kilat lah. Okay. Number 3, by burglary, housebreaking or theft. Kereta dicuri. Mudahnya. Okay. Number 4, malicious act. What is malicious act? Malicious acts adalah unsur khianat. Okay. Unsur khianat orang lain. Saya contohlah unsur khianat. Saya bagi contoh. Saya datang kerja, kereta saya dengan keadaan sempurna. Saya balik. Okay, right now we continue with the section 1. Alright, own damage. The first one, accidental collision, overturning, kereta you berlanggar, berpusing dan terbalik. By fire, external explosion, self-ignition, lightning. Okay, kereta terbakar atau terkena kilat. By burglary, kecurian, housebreaking or theft. Alright, malicious act. Okay, D. What is malicious act? Malicious act ni adalah unsur khianat. Unsur khianat mudahnya kereta, contohlah saya pergi kerja, kereta keadaan sempurna, balik tengok steering saya dah tak ada. Kan? So that is kind of malicious act that will be covered under section 1, own damage. Impact damage caused by falling object or even impact damage by third-party cars that will be covered under your section 1. While in transit, including the process of loading and unloading. Process of loading and unloading ni, this is more on commercial use purpose lah. You angkat barang masuk dalam kereta. Contoh ada forklift lah, forklift masukkan barang ke dalam kenderaan you, and it will covered under own damage. However, under section 1, it mentioned that there is an exception, which is dalam section 1 ada special exclusion. This mesti kena tengok. Consequential loss, depreciation, wear and tear mechanical or electrical breakdown failure. Loss and wear and tear. Wear and tear products ni bahan yang mudah lusuh yang kita pakai apa dekat kereta kita. Contohnya warna kereta, tayar, absorber, those engine. So if you want to claim on the brake pads punya house yang tak boleh pakai, the absorber, tayar yang dah botak, you cannot claim from the Takaful operator because this is considered as wear and tear products unless there is damage to tires due to the accident, damage at the same time. You accidents, overturning, collision and so on, and causing your damage to the tires. That is different story compared to your tire damage because you are using it. Okay, alright. Section 2, legal liability to third parties. Under this section, the Takaful operator will indemnify the participant authorized driver against all sum including claimant costs and expenses which the participant shall become legally liable to pay in respect of. There are 2 things under this thing, under section 2. Death or bodily injury to any person. Okay, number 2, damage to property except those specifically excluded under this certificate. To simplify, the coverage under section 2, legal liability to third parties, is TPBI and TPPD. What is TPBI? Third Party Bodily Injury. TPPD, Third Party Property Damage. So, dalam section 2 dia cover hanya kepada third party bodily injuries dan juga kerosakan harta benda kepada orang ketiga. Okay. However, the Takaful company does not pay compensation for damage in respect of judgment not in the first instance from the court of Malaysia, Singapore and Brunei. Meaning that if there is damages happen outside the jurisdictions of Malaysia, Singapore and Brunei, will not be covered under Malaysian Road Transport Act 1987. Mesti berlaku di 3 negara ini sahaja. Number 2, cost and expenses litigation recovered. Litigation cost ni orang saman you lah, sebabkan kecuaian you dan melanggar orang lain. So the cost of litigation incurred outside Malaysia, Singapore and Brunei will not be covered. Like I mentioned earlier, our Road Transport Act 1987 only cover 3 countries, which is Malaysia, Singapore and Brunei. So if you drive your car to Thailand, if you drive your car to Vietnam or Indonesia, meaning that you will not be covered under Malaysian Motor Takaful. So what happen or what can you do if you want to get coverage? You just buy the daily or monthly pass at the borders lah. Biasanya ada dijual. Beli masuk border, bawa kereta, dia ada jual pass harian, pass bulanan untuk insurance ataupun takaful. That is different. Okay. And last but not least, the scope of cover under motor takaful. Section 3, accident to participant. Most of the time, this is an optional coverage. Okay, this is an optional coverage which is provided by the takaful operators. So under this section, the company undertakes to pay compensation to the participant compensation for accidental death and permanent disablement sustained by the participants. Meaning that accidents berlaku kepada participant, you injured. You sendiri, bukan orang ketiga. Yang ni coverage bodily injury dan juga kemalangan diri kepada pemandu tu sendiri. Ini lebihnya lah. Sebab tu dia jadi optional. Of course, when I said optional, there will be an additional premium. Okay, so total paralyzed, loss of 2 limb, hands, hilang jari tangan, buta dan sebagainya. Yang tu semua adalah optional coverage. What are the others optional coverage available under motor takaful? You may look here, passenger liability. Okay, liability to passengers. Apa beza passengers liability and liability to passengers? Passengers liability is when your passengers causing damage or causing bodily injuries to the other people. Contoh, you bawa lah kawan-kawan you naik kereta. Kawan you buka pintu belakang, tiba-tiba ada motor lalu. Siapa yang salah? You driver tak bersalah, tapi kawan you, the passenger. So, that is passengers liability. Liability to passengers is your liability as the drivers, as the owner of the car, towards the passengers. Most of the time, liability to passengers ni untuk orang yang bawa Grab lah. Memang sangat diperlukan. Because you are doing a commercial use towards your private car. Okay, windscreen breakage. Windscreen ni bukan cermin angin macam mana, cermin hadapan kereta. Kalau pecah, then it will be covered under atau dia adalah ada premium tambahan lah. Okay, additional coverage. Strike, riot, civil commotion, SRCC. Strike adalah contoh strike ni mogok lah. Mogok, ada rusuhan, rapat awam dan sebagainya. Flood and storm damage. This is very popular, especially in the northeast area, Kelantan, Terengganu yang selalu banjir. You must buy this additional coverage. Flood. Okay. Car and radio sound system. For those who have car with an additional infotainment system, ICE, dia dah upgrade those audio system yang mungkin berpuluh ribu, you boleh tambah. And motor personal accident. Yang ni, yang tadi itulah accident to participant, section 3. So this is the scope of cover under section 3. Scope of cover under motor takaful. Okay. Now we move to 8.2.4, no claim discount, NCD. What is no claim discount? A discount given to the participant as and when there is no claim being made towards the period, through the period of takaful. Januari sampai Disember, tak ada apa-apa claim yang dibuat. Maknanya you tak pernah accident, of course you tak akan buat claim. So apa yang takaful buat, takaful will remunerate you in terms of a discount on premium. That's why they call it as NCD, no claim discount. So discount given to the passengers, to the participant as and when there's no claim being made throughout the policy. Of course, dia ada stage by stage. Kalau you tengok dekat sini, after 1 year period of takaful 25%, sampailah to the maximum after 5 years of 55%. Alright. Yang ni kena hafal lah, sebab nanti dalam calculations of motor premium, I akan minta you tanya from, kalau after first year, how many percentage? After second year, third year, fourth year, how many percentage of discount given to the takaful, discount given by the takaful operators. Okay. 8.25, cancelling the coverage. This is not that important, but as an additional coverage boleh. Alright, 14 days notice kena beritahu dengan takaful operators. Access, yang ni you boleh baca sendiri, tengok loading, betterment and loss of use. Right now, can I continue with the general exclusion? Okay, 8.2.10, page 99, muka surat 99. This is the general exclusion, pengecualian am, apa yang tidak dilindungi di bawah standard motor takaful policy. Number 1, unlicensed driver. If you are a driver without license at the time of the accident, anything happen, of course, you will not be compensated by the takaful operators. Company takkan bayar you anything if you do not hold valid license lah, tak ada lesen yang sah. Number 2, alcohol, drugs or other intoxicating substance. Di bawah pengaruh dadah, di bawah pengaruh alkohol ataupun apa-apa bahan yang menyebabkan you di bawah bukan di bawah kawalan yang normal, so you will not be covered. Number 3, fraud and exaggerated claim. Fraud claim ni penipuan lah. Okay. Number 4, unlawful purpose. There's no cover and certificate if you authorize the car being used for unlawful purposes. You bawa kereta untuk bawa dadah, you bawa kereta untuk menggunakan aktiviti pelacuran dan sebagainya, prostitution. So of course, any accident happen due to these unlawful activities or unlawful purposes will not be covered under motor takaful. Number 5, the car being used for racing. Tak kisahlah aktiviti drag ke, toge battle ke, kanjo, whatever lah kan. You racing kereta, you accident, sendiri mau ingat, sendiri tanggung. Alright, takaful takkan bayar. Number 6, outside Malaysia unless we provide otherwise takaful. Macam saya beritahu awal tadi, Malaysia, Singapura and Brunei, itu saja yang negara yang dilindungi. Number 7, failure to take precaution additional damage. Yang ni contohlah, your car being left unattended. Kereta you rosak, tinggalkan dekat tepi highway, tak boleh nak kunci one whatsoever. Datang balik dengan ni, tengok kereta dah tak ada. The possibility of your claim being rejected is high because you do not take precaution action towards your car. It is your own vehicle, so you need to take the precautions. Otherwise, it falls under this exclusion. Number 8, worries. Memang tak adalah tiba-tiba nak bawa kancil, siap ada bazooka pergi perang, nak buat apa kan. So of course will not be covered. Kereta bukan untuk berperang, kereta digunakan untuk membawa seseorang, barang A to B. Okay. 9, nuclear risk will not be covered. Convulsion of nature, any act of nature or act of God. Flood, typhoon, hurricane, storm, volcanic eruption, earthquake. Dalam standard coverage, memang this is exclusion. Like I mentioned yang awal tadi, okay, kalau you tengok, you might need to pay additional premium to get coverage on convulsion of nature. Contohnya kebanjir dan sebagainya, tanah runtuh. Yang tu you boleh beli, tapi dalam standard motor takaful, it is a standard exclusion. So you must know this. Number 11, contractual liability. Any liability that arises by virtue of an agreement will not be paid by virtues of agreement, but for which will not be liable in this absence of the agreement. Tak faham kan? Okay. This number 11, what it tells is, this policy, the takaful policy, the motor takaful policy, will not recognize any other policy except for the policies, the original policy. Contoh, you punya policy is the agreement between you as the drivers and the takaful operators. Okay, agreement where to get coverage on your vehicles. But then you buat ada separate agreement. Contohnya agreement untuk kereta sewa. Okay, so kalau agreement yang macam tu, apa-apa kerosakan pada kereta you, damage to your own vehicle, because the activities yang you buat tadi pasal sewa tu will not be covered, because that is contractual liability. Dah jadi liability kontrak yang lain. And last but not least, unauthorized drivers. But nowadays unauthorized drivers ni rasanya dah tak ada kot. Okay, dulu authorized driver is the person whose name in the policy. Dia bagi you free dua nama lah, you letakkan nama you dan nama seorang lagi. Dan tambahan pada nama tu you kena bayar lebih. But nowadays there's no such unauthorized driver, if not mistaken. Why? Because they give dia panggil all drivers punya package. Maknanya anyone who drive the car can be covered under the motor Takaful policy. So this is all about motor Takaful. Anything you can check back with me. I will suggest we have a big discussions towards our LMS, learning management system, through our Google Classroom, or even maybe we can use Padlet as a medium, as a platform to make this discussion. Not even by me to give the thoughts, but as well as the other student or friends, your members yang boleh share their understandings to the topics. Okay guys, we'll see shortly on non-motor takaful. We stop here sementara.